Okay, so let's actually get the run started now. So first things first, you want to jump around here and again around here, just some optimal movement. The next trick that's coming up already is AI break. So AI break is a little bit tricky, especially when you don't know how to do it. However, once you get used to it, it's alright. You just really need to get into your muscle memory the exact movement. So Elika's waiting for me right now so I can waste time. But basically you want to catch up with Elika around there, so you can't really see it, but behind that canyon. And the way you do that is with these precise movements. So I'll actually just waste this attempt and just show you the movement. So as you're walking here, once the camera kind of starts turning to the left, you see I'm not moving my mouse, the camera is turning to the left by itself, like that. You wanna, at that point you wanna jump into this wall. And then, you see how there's kind of a dark line around there? There's a kind of blackish line, and it's just before that little grinded bit of the wall. As soon as you get past that, or when you're kind of still on it, you want to jump. Now, after you jump, what happens is a little bit unpredictable, because the auto-aim here is a bit unpredictable, but hopefully you'll end up somewhere around there, of course. And then what you want to do is jump in this kind of general direction, so somewhere towards this ledge. You want to get as close to this ledge here as possible with just one jump. Sometimes this is not possible because the auto aim will just mess you up. In that case, so you just have to reset. But with a little bit of luck, you'll be able to get as close to this ledge as possible with one jump. And then with your next jump, you want to jump into this wall, and you want to have as steep an angle as possible, or rather you want to have it as close to a vertical wall run as possible. So you want to jump at roughly this kind of angle. If you want to look for somewhere to aim, you should aim just before that grinded bit. So you should jump like that and make sure you do a horizontal wall run, and then just continue like that. Now I've already messed up because I was too slow back there, but if I had done that all in one go, we would have come here and Elika's AI would have broken here. So let me show all of that in one go now. It's a little bit tricky. The key is to make that wall run at an angle that is as close to giving you a vertical wall run as possible, because that actually makes you wall run slightly faster. So go here, jump around there, jump like that, and this should work. And we come here and Elika should freeze. Just make sure you're kind of on the left side here, so don't wander too far to the right. And of course, if you do come back, Elika will also Elika's AI will continue as normal, so it won't be broken anymore. So you saw that I kind of came back and her AI was fine again. Now, once you've done AI break, you've got a bit of a choice of what you want to do. So you can either take the casual route, which is just straightforward, and then do a wall run there and proceed. Alternatively, there's a skip by jumping on that wall there. It's a little bit difficult. It saves around 3 seconds. Maybe if you're new and there's already quite a lot of hard stuff in the beginning, maybe you might choose to not go for it, and I understand that, but in the event that you do want to do it, I'll try to explain how, but it's a bit difficult. So I'll move back here just so I can show off my movement, even though I don't have AI break anymore. So the way I do this, playing on mouse and keyboard, is I just move here, get AI break, and then at the end just move like slightly to the right of this corner. So you see there's a corner right here. You want to move just slightly to the right of that, and then once you're around here, aiming like slightly to the right, very slightly, so you're kind of walking this direction, aims very slightly to the right like that, and then press A on the keyboard and jump like that, and then jump as late as possible. Sometimes you'll end up quite high on that wall. That's fine, you can still make it as long as you jump as late as possible. Feel free to find your own setup or whatever for this. However, since it only saves 3 seconds, if you didn't have a setup, I doubt it would save time anymore. So yeah, that's up to you how you want to do that, but that's just how I personally do it. Okay, so once you get here, the final thing to do is get past the barrier here in the first fight. So there's a barrier here, you can't just enter the first fight. Because Elika's AI broken, of course, the fight is not loaded, but we still need to get around the barrier. Now, you can just get around it by just trying to walk around it a bit like this. See, I kind of did it there. And then, of course, proceed, but that's a bit slow, so let's see if we can find a better method. So the first way that you can speed this up, it's quite easy. Just, you see this kind of dark line just on the ground. As soon as you get past that, jump, and then the prince will get through every time, and then you can either stand up and jump like that, or just grind down like this and continue. So that's one way to do it. It's quite easy. I'll show off an even faster way, but it's a bit difficult. So again, up to you what you want to do. The fastest way to do this is, again, to come to this dark spot on the ground and jump when you're roughly in the middle of that. So obviously you don't have to be directly on top of it. If you're next to it, that's also fine, but as long as you're lined up with roughly the middle of it. So around there, you want to jump, and then what we want to do is grind off that ledge and do a drop glitch. So the reason why this is a bit tricky is because you'll notice if I just hold grind, it doesn't work. What we want to do specifically is start holding grind after we land, because otherwise the prince is not going to jump. So like this. See, then he grinds. So you need to time when you start holding grind in order to get this right. And of course on top of that you then need to do a drop glitch. So your drop glitch, if you're playing on keyboard, if you just hold S and D on the keyboard, an appropriate controller input would do too. And press jump. So all in all it looks like this. And then continue like that. So I'll show off the entire thing that we've done up until now all in one go, just so you can see, because it's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of tech filled into this one tiny bit of the run in the beginning. So jump there, jump there. Obviously I didn't set up the camera in the beginning, so that was a bit slow, but you would normally do that. So that's AI break. Let's see if we can get this skip. Perfect. Come here, jump there, do a drop glitch like that, and you continue. Just here, if you watched the earlier episodes of the tutorial, in the first one actually I talked about direction storage. Be careful about that. It's very easy to get it here if you try to climb on this ledge and then wall run on this wall like that. You can actually get direction storage very easily. I don't think I got it now, but when you climb onto this platform, just stay a bit away from the wall and jump like that. You can mash jump here and just finish off with some casual movement there, and we go off into this cutscene.
No, he's nothing to do with this. No!
I do have my music turned off for the purposes of this tutorial, by the way, so don't mind the cutscene sounding weird. But anyway, in this episode I'll just also show off the second fight, which is very easy, and then that will be the end of this episode, and the next one will be on barrier skip.
I don't know.
Right. And you being able
So here, nothing really to say, just
They're not
walk
trying to
and
kill
try
us.
not to hit the corners.
They're trying to kill you.
Okay, fine. Keep your secrets. But at least tell me how to escape.
No, I can't leave. I've got to get to the town.
Because we did the AI break, Elika does that here.
You really can't.
Not really
put
sure
me
why.
down now.
Anyway, with this enemy, very simple. At the start of the fight, press jump twice to dash towards him, and then immediately follow that up with a sword, 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 jump, sword, sword, sword combo. So, like this.
I'm not in a good mood. Release her. I'm not
The
holding
dash twice, sword, 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 jump, sword, sword, sword. And actually note that you can still hit him after he's already dead. So just make sure you don't hit him a fourth time, because that's gonna waste time. So stop hitting him after the third attack. And that's the end of this fight. Stay tuned for the next video for barrier skip.
Yes.